Okay, hello everyone, it is me, RP, and I have here the Honda CL250. This particular model comes with their new Honda e-clutch system, which you can see right over here. It says Honda e-clutch. This basically fancy looking device that is added on to the actual clutch pack, or rather this side of the transmission where the clutch pack would be. The system is, for lack of a better word, it feels a lot like a mixture between riding a Honda Super Cub with a regular clutched motorcycle, manual transmission motorcycle. I don't know if it really fulfills a new need that is not already filled by the Honda Super Cub's centrifugal clutch and a simple quick shifter, but I will run you through how it works and what I think it is good for. So first of all, I'm gonna get the bike started. So if you do notice, it's drizzling, so I got rain everywhere. There is a button here, or a light over here. What this signals is that the Honda's e-clutch is on. Now the clutch over here works as you'd expect on a manual transmission bike. You pull it in, you shift the gears, it just works. But when you turn on the bike, the e-clutch automatically is on by itself. So as long as your bike is in neutral, your kickstand is up, you push in the gear, I'm in neutral, clutch is not being held down, I'm going to kick it into first, and there you go. Now I'm in first gear. If I were to pull the throttle without pulling the clutch, there we go. And then when I stop, the bike stops. So if I were to continue, I can upshift, second, third, fourth, down, 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 all without touching the clutch once or single time. So in essence, that is what the e-clutch does. It basically works like a quick shifter or the Super Cub's centrifugal clutch. Okay? But you can, if you want to, pull the clutch in, the light goes off, and now it just works like a regular manual transmission motorcycle, you know, where the bike requires a clutch. Okay, you can still pull in the clutch if you want to, and it works like a regular manual transmission motorcycle. Okay. So the thing about the e-clutch is that if, let's say, I were to release the clutch and continue on my way, the light comes back on again and it goes back into e-clutch mode. And then it basically does e-clutch thing where, you know, if you come to a stop with it in gear, it doesn't stall, the bike still stays with the engine running. In my opinion, I think this is great. It's better than having a quick shifter, because a quick shifter requires you to buy an additional system and then install it, and a quick shifter does not help you with coming to a stop with the clutch out and not stalling. With a quick shifter, you still do need to pull in the clutch when you come to a stop while in gear to avoid the bike stalling. But with an e-clutch, you can just do that. The question is whether this really, you know, it has any purpose functionally. Because if you are someone who is riding as a hobby, a manual transmission is fun. If you wanted it to have a practical machine, you would have just gone and bought a Super Cub with a centrifugal clutch where it's far cheaper for the entire motorcycle package. Why would you pay more for a enthusiast level motorcycle and then not use the clutch? The way I see it is that it's great if you are somebody that's using it for fun, but in a very specific kind of fun, touring, traveling long distances, not necessarily doing twisties. You just want to use your bike for adventure. So I'd say it's great for adventure motorcycles, cruisers, sport bikes. Not necessarily. I don't think they're great for sport bikes. I don't think they're great for super naked. I think they're great for that particular purpose, touring, adventuring, where you may sometimes want to have the benefit of clutching. Sometimes you may want to have the benefit of just shifting clutchlessly and coming to a stop without stalling. The other thing I think it helps to have this system is that it's great that you have both the clutchless shifting and the manual clutch, because in some instances, especially if you have the e-clutch on a larger motorcycle and you want to do a U-turn or low speed maneuver, having the clutch is a very good option, because from my experience riding this for the past 4 days in heavy traffic, slow traffic, the bike itself doesn't really understand half clutching with that level of nuance that a person has. Okay, especially in slow traffic, we are half clutching at first or second gear just to roll along. Sometimes you may want to have the clutch at a certain amount of pull so that it's smooth. You don't jerk around when you're throttling up and down. It doesn't have a nuance. It's very herky-jerky in slow traffic. That's where I can see just manually feathering the clutch itself is a great idea. See, for example, if I were to throttle even just a bit, it just jerks forward in first and second gear. But if you were feathering the clutch with a hard clutch method, it would be a lot smoother. That's where I would say it works best for especially bikes with larger engines and trying to do low speed maneuvers. E-clutch just does not have that nuance. It sometimes doesn't engage the clutch enough, and then all of a sudden it just slams the clutch back down on you. So sometimes manually handling the clutch is better. So yeah, that's what I think it's good for. Whether you actually need it, I don't know. That's up for you to decide. Anyway, if you like this video, do remember to like, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. If you have any questions, leave them down in the questions box below, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Bye bye.